Zero is building foundation models for Indian AI advanced driver assistance systems and autonomous driving. And this week they unveiled an end-to-end made in India autopilot system. Welcome to Strawberry Signal. I'm Caleb Friesen, and this is a weekly news show where we take a look at everything that's happening in Indian AI. Now, the obvious but probably inferior approach here to building an autopilot system for India would be to start with an open source model, like for example, AI's OpenPilot. But the issue with this approach is that American autopilot systems rely on road markings and street signs to tell them what to do. And in India, oftentimes these signals are just not available. And so to pull off their autopilot system, Zero trained bespoke foundation models on large-scale raw data from Indian roads. And this data doesn't have any human labeling, and you can see for yourself that this approach does seem to be working for them, at least pretty well. Although admittedly, there are some moments here where the autopilot does make decisions that are a bit awkward or abrupt. Like in this example here, there's a car that's doing a 3-point turn, and Zero's vehicle stops, but then it goes ahead later on. And if it were me, I would just either have gone ahead without stopping, or if I did stop, I would have stopped long enough for the driver of that car to finish their turn. But this tech is still a work in progress. Zero is expecting to be able to get it into the hands of OEMs in about 2 years, so they've got time to refine and perfect their autonomous driving AI here. All right, next up in this week's Indian AI news, Bhindi AI just launched on the 19th of May. They're calling this Cursor, but for apps. I would say it's more akin to OpenAI Operator or maybe Manus AI, but with just a little bit less visibility right now. There's no virtual browser window for you to see what the agent is actually doing, but this is very much agentic. I mean, look at the front page here of Bhindi. It's agentic AF, right? It comes with more than 70 agents already built in, and in their announcement post, they shared a list of things that you can do with Bhindi. You can send emails, book flights, check crypto prices, schedule meetings, generate images, run code, search GitHub, and update spreadsheets. And I'll put a link in the pinned comment so that you can go check Bhindi out for yourself. They give you 50 credits to begin with for free, which is more than enough to test it out. You're probably not going to hit a limit on your first or second or even third prompt. And then if you want to upgrade, it costs $20 a month or 1,700 rupees. All right, next up on the 15th of May, so this is a little bit old, but still very interesting, an HSR-based startup, Repello AI, identified a vulnerability that enabled them to turn background noise into prompt injection attacks for voice AI like OpenAI's Whisper and Wave to Vec 2 from Meta AI. And it's actually easier if I just show you how it works. So they have this fun little adversarial audio generator. And so you start off by inputting your safe audio. I'll put in "Welcome to Strawberry Signal." And then it converts that text into speech. And then when you do speech to text, you can see the clean audio transcript. And this is where things get interesting, because now you can input your attacked audio. In this case, I'll just write something very bad, but you can imagine all kinds of things that people would actually inject here. And then I'm going to generate attacked audio. And what's happening here is that Repello is essentially creating a secret message in the white noise of this generated audio. And so when we play the attacked audio here,
"Welcome to Strawberry Signal,"
to human ears, it sounds like it's saying "Welcome to Strawberry Signal," but when OpenAI's Whisper is hearing this, it's actually hearing something very, very bad. And we can prove this by clicking transcribe attacked audio, and that's the exact text that it transcribes. And I'll put a link to this playground for this adversarial audio generator in the pinned comment, as well as the article that Repello published alongside it. All right, now let's move into some quick AI news items here. First of all, there's now an MCP server for Zerodha. It's called the Kite MCP, and of course, it allows you to connect AI tools like Claude, Cursor, Windsurf, and more to your Zerodha account so that you can basically have a personal AI financial assistant. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see all of the creative ways that people end up misusing this. But then next up, this happened last week, but I had already filmed the video by then. Lossfunk got their first ACL paper published, and the focus of the paper is learning reward signals directly from model internals. It's very technical, but if that's your thing, you can find a link to the paper in the pinned comment down below. And big congrats to Boris and the Lossfunk team here. All right, after that, we've got an upcoming hackathon, this one for all of the Vibe coders out there. It's going to be an 8-hour event, only 70 participants plus 5 mentors from Cred, Adobe, Microsoft, and Google. The reward is 20,000 rupees, plus, of course, you're going to be able to connect with VCs, and this is an invite-only hackathon in Bengaluru. Next up, Maya Research, a company that we covered 2 weeks back. They launched Indic Vault, and now they're back in the news because they're developing expressive voice AI models for Indian languages, and they actually just received a $30,000 grant from Emergent Ventures to help them continue to collect data sets for 11 major languages in India. And they've already done Hindi, but now they want to go further. So let's just give Veena, this is the name of the model, a listen.
अगर ऑर्डर डिलीवर नहीं होता है तो आपका पूरा पैसा वापस कर दिया जाएगा। हम इसकी पूरी जिम्मेदारी लेते हैं। आपको कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं है।
And again, this is only in one language right now, Hindi, but they're actually comparing it to a bunch of other text-to-speech models. So here's what Veena sounds like.
अगर ऑर्डर डिलीवर नहीं होता है तो आपका पूरा पैसा वापस कर दिया जाएगा।
Now I'll play 11 labs.
अगर ऑर्डर डिलीवर नहीं होता है तो आपका पूरा पैसा वापस कर दिया जाएगा।
Here's OpenAI.
आपका ऑर्डर थोड़ा लेट हो गया है क्योंकि डिलीवरी बॉय गलती से रॉन्ग एड्रेस चला गया था।
Here's Sarvam.
अगर ऑर्डर डिलीवर नहीं होता है तो आपका पूरा पैसा वापस कर दिया जाएगा।
And here is Krutram.
आपका ऑर्डर थोड़ा लेट हो गया क्योंकि डिलीवरी बॉय गलती से गलत पते पर चला गया था।
Comes complete with traffic noise. Maya Research is going to be using this $30,000 grant to hire voice actors for different use cases like narration, conversation, and voice calling. And they'll be training their model, Veena, with this data set. And then Veena is going to be open source too, which is very cool. All right, next up, DeepDocs launched this week. It's a GitHub AI agent launched by Neil Das, and it keeps your documentation like READMEs, API references, and SDK guides up to date with your changing repository. After that, we have something for Ollama users, a community integration called Notepad. It was released this week by Bengaluru-based Ronald Wilson. It's a lightweight desktop app that gives you a clean space to talk to local AI models. So basically it's Notepad but powered by AI, and you can install it using the following commands. I'm just going to put those up on the screen here. All right, next up, I couldn't help but squeeze this in. It's called Quest. And I think that the founder of this company, Arnav, he said it best in a post on X. I'll just read it out because it perfectly aligns with my views. He says, in India, students in colleges prepare to enter the real world by doing fake things. Meaningless resume padding projects, endless interview prep, placement politics. We can do better. And by the way, I would just say, I'm just going to interject here. This applies to pretty much every country, right? This is why I personally dropped out of college. It just felt very silly to be spending my time trying to get an A+ when I could just be trying to make money instead. I feel like the real measure of value in this world that you provide isn't a mark on a scoreboard or a degree or a certificate, in my opinion. It's money, right? That's how the market decides your value. And so I just went out there and tried to make money. Anyways, back to Quest. So introducing Quest, a set of hard but tractable real-world problems you can solve to prove your mettle. Our quests are hard but tractable challenges scoped for students and dropouts to solve in 2 to 4 weeks. Each quest is designed to be representative of its domain, and if you enjoy working on it and are good at it, then you'll likely also enjoy and be good at that field. And for those who excel, we will find you a great job at a top company. And where this overlaps with AI is that one of the quests is actually to fine-tune a model in your local dialect. And then you'd have to go ahead and publish your model on Hugging Face and open source your training code on GitHub. So pretty cool. All right, next up, BharatGen dropped a 2.9 billion parameter model called Param-1 on AI Kosh. It's a foundation LLM built from scratch in India. It's trained on 25% Indic data and designed to be fine-tuned by Indian AI labs. It's open source under an MIT license, but you need to raise a request to download it. So it's not really open source, which is probably why it's not on Hugging Face. There are no benchmarks, there's no paper about it, which is why I put it at the end of this video. I don't really know what to make of this. But anyways, that is the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're enjoying Strawberry Signal, this new series. If you are, it would mean so much to me if you could share this with people. Just get the word out that this place, these videos exist for people to learn about what's happening in Indian AI. But anyways, I'm Caleb Friesen, and this has been Strawberry Signal. I'll catch you in the next one.